I'm Sonia Azad. Welcome to The Shift. Real connection, healthy conversation as we navigate life's changes and challenges together.
Thanks to our friends at Vera Clinic for making this podcast possible.
Hi, I'm Sonia Azad. Welcome to The Shift. Today we are at Vera Clinic in Istanbul, Turkey, and I'm with Devin Buckley, all the way from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
That's right.
We're going to talk all about what we're doing here, what got us here, and why we're having this conversation. Some of you may recognize Devin as a participant, a contestant on season 8 of Love is Blind. And so let's talk about, the show. Let's start there.
Okay.
Why did you want to do it?
For me, dating scene in Minneapolis, it wasn't really working out for me. And I feel like I've gotten to the age where like a lot of my friends and my siblings are starting to get married and have kids and things like that. And I kind of just felt like, I don't know if I was falling behind or whatever it was. And I felt like, I always had a dream of mine is to be married and have a family. I know like a lot of guys don't say that, but for me, I felt like I really want a family. I really want a wife, my person. So I thought, since the dating scene in Minneapolis wasn't working for me, why not try something different?
Yeah.
So I really wanted to put myself out there, try to go on this show and be authentic as I could and genuine and really try to find someone and try to find a wife. So that's why I went on.
And you're 30?
30 now, yeah.
Okay. Spoiler alert, you're not married.
I'm not. No.
Okay.
So it didn't end up working out. I did end up getting engaged to someone on the show. We got all the way to the altar, and by the end, it was just something that didn't work out for the both of us. And she didn't feel like she was ready. And then as weeks gone by and months and throughout the show, we just decided that it wasn't going to work, and we moved on.
Yeah. So for those people who are watching this and not listening to this, they're looking at you and saying, there's something different about how he looks.
For sure.
He did not look like this on the show when we last saw him.
Yes.
And that's part of the reason why you're here in Turkey. So you chose to get a hair transplant here. And this is something that millions of people are coming here to do from all around the world. It's very popular right now. Lots of people are talking about it. Tell me how the show impacted your decision to be here and to do this.
It actually goes back a little before the show. Like I would say about 4 or 5 years ago now, I've kind of noticed the thinning, but it didn't really bother me too much. But after being on the show and being in the spotlight and always being on camera, you start to nitpick and notice things about yourself. And when I saw those as the show aired, I kind of worried like, what are people's perceptions going to be of me? Like, how are people going to view me when I am on the show? And I was like, well, maybe it's not bad and it won't be noticeable.
But you're also seeing yourself in a different light.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, well, maybe it won't be noticeable. I was wrong. You can definitely see it. And even for me, I was like, man, my hair just like starting to thin in the crown area and like, hairline receding and things like that. And social media is such a prevalent thing today. And instead of talking about like who I was as a person or like how I portrayed myself on the show, I got so much backlash about how my hair looked.
People were rude.
Very rude about it.
Wow.
And just like, wow, like maybe like a harsh one for me was like maybe he'd get a girl if like he like got a better haircut or if he wasn't bald.
Wow.
Like balding and so. And I'm like, wow, that is harsh. And I already kind of had that like losing confidence a little bit even before I saw myself on TV. So this just kind of further enhanced it. And after seeing all the comments on social media, every time I'd go in the mirror and look at myself, I'd start to be down on myself a little bit more. Oh, like you're losing your hair. Like you don't have the confidence that you used to have. So now every time I go out, I make sure I have a hat on or like I have a hoodie and cover my hair, or I even turn to like hair fibers, if you know what that is. Like it just makes your hair a little bit thicker and makes it look a little more full. So I was doing a lot of things to hide the fact that I was balding. And I just got tired of that and decided like, you know what? I've always considered getting a hair transplant. Why not pull the trigger now since, I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling about it.
So this podcast is called The Shift because it's all about major shifts in life.
Sure.
And what you're describing, what I'm hearing is you were having mental health shifts, emotional health shifts.
Yes.
Like every time that you're looking at yourself in the mirror, every time you're looking at social media, every time you're trying to put yourself out there as a young man to date or just be social, let's call it. What does that do to a person's psyche? Because you're right, I don't think a lot of men talk about this stuff out loud. No. I think it's a really important point.
Yeah, it's really hard because like growing up, full head of curly hair, I was an athlete. Like as an athlete, the biggest thing you hang your hat on for me is your confidence. If you go out there and play with confidence, it's gonna make you play better. So if I look good, I play good, I feel good, that's kind of the saying. I'm not feeling that way anymore. You know, like you said, it's like it takes a mental toll on you, and every day you go out and you're just like, man, I don't feel like the same person that I used to be. And just dating it, not that maybe the women might not care, but for me, it's myself. Like I don't feel good, so maybe I won't show the personality that I normally have like if I was on a date, and kind of show the person who I really am, because I'm being hindered by this insecurity of mine. So yeah, I think that since the show didn't work out for me, and I had that insecurity, now that I've gone to Vera Clinic and I've gotten the hair transplant, and I'm hoping that my hair grows back and it looks amazing, and then I feel like I'll have that confidence to go back out there and date again, and maybe finally find the person that I can start a family with.
So it's amazing to me that you've gone to this length to feel better, to feel like you want to look better and kind of put yourself out there. How did Turkey come into the picture? Like, how was that idea introduced to you?
You know, I guess not surprisingly, social media.
TikTok.
Yes, TikTok.
Yeah.
So there's many TikTok influencers that focus just on hair transplantation. And I found a couple of guys that really documented their experience very well. They showed the process of going to the airport and being picked up from the airport by the clinics they went to, and getting to a nice hotel and then having their procedures. And it's interesting because out of the maybe 3 to 5 people that I looked at, 3 of them stood out to me. And each person that stood out to me all went to Vera Clinic.
Interesting.
So I was like, wow, like Vera Clinic, watching it, it's such a, like, they made it feel like it was such a great experience. And the people that work for Vera Clinic was so accommodating, and they were so nice. And they just made it like an easy process for the people getting the hair transplant.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, there's many other places that I could go, but the way these people made it feel when they documented their journeys on TikTok, I was like, I have to go there.
Did you contact any of them before you decided to come here?
So I did contact a few of those creators. One answered back and just like kind of spoke on the same thing that I'm saying, how great Vera Clinic was. The transportation was amazing. You stay at a great hotel. They serve you amazing food. And then the quality of the actual clinic, and how not only do they do a great job with your hair transplant and making sure that your lining is how you want it to be, making sure you're getting the proper amount of grafts, aftercare, you know, washing the hair the correct way, doing OxyCure, which is like almost like being in a plane, and it boosts your oxygen level and makes your hair kind of expedites the healing process. And just so many, red light therapy, just so many things that they do. It's incredible. And then a little side note is, like I said, I was a basketball player. I'm a basketball coach. Then I found out that Vera Clinic has a partnership with the Houston Rockets. And, you know, I love basketball and I love the NBA. I watch it throughout the whole season, playoffs and everything. So to hear they had that partnership was just like another plus.
It was a plus for me too, because I'm a Rockets fan.
There you go.
From back in the 90s. You know who I'm talking about? Hakeem
Olajuwon. Yes.
Robert
There
Ory.
you go.
Sam Cassell. Let's keep going.
Okay, she knows her stuff. I like that.
Yeah, that was my team. I'm from Houston. I'm a Houston girl.
Amazing. Another great thing about Vera Clinic,
right? So did you ever consider getting this type of procedure done in America, in the US? Like, did that even cross your mind?
You know, 100% honest, not at all. Just because I know that it costs so much more money to get a hair transplant in the United States, and most of the time the quality isn't the same.
Really?
From what I've known and from I've heard from other people, it's like they're spending so much money to get their hair transplant, but the care isn't there as much. Like you're just another client. You're just another person getting a hair transplant. And here, just with my experience since I've done it, I just feel like it's such a warm, welcoming place. Not only Vera Clinic, but just Turkey as a whole. The people are so nice and they're so caring. I just felt like this is a better place for me, being, even though it's closer in the US, you're not getting the same attention that you're getting here.
Yeah. So I want you to walk us through the process, because I know this sort of happens fast.
Absolutely.
But I think a lot of people who are either watching or listening are kind of in the same position you were in. Like, I need to do something. I want to do something. I am kind of freaked out by the idea of going halfway around the world to do it. And I don't know what it entails.
Sure.
Like, because you seem like you did a lot of research before you got here.
Yes. Yeah. I did a lot of research, and when you're contacting the clinic, they're very responsive. So you typically go through WhatsApps and you have conversation through WhatsApp.
So that's how it started.
That's how it started for
Okay.
me. So we talked to each other. We figured out how we were going to do it, and then they kind of leave it up to you, like what works for you to come, and you let them know, and they figure out in their schedule, and then you book your flight. You let them know what your flight is, and then they kind of handle the rest as far as they provide you with the hotel. They make sure they have somebody ready to pick you up at the airport to bring you to the hotel. The next day, the hotel provides you breakfast. After breakfast, they pick you up. The Vera Clinic picks you up and transports you to their clinic. And then you do.
So it's like clockwork.
Yeah, it's clockwork.
Okay.
They really know what they're doing. They're making sure that they do it as efficient and effectively as possible.
Yeah.
So when you get here, they make sure they, do the hairline and do the consultation and make sure that you're happy with how your transplant will turn out. Then you go into the procedure.
So it's like you get here and from then on, you just go right into it.
Yeah, right into it.
They don't waste time.
No, I mean, if you want to make a trip out of it and you want to explore Turkey, you can come a little bit earlier and check it out, or stay a little later and check it out. But the process is, they if you want to get it done right away, you'll get it done right away. So for example, I got here one day. The next day was the procedure. The next day was the aftercare, and then you go home the following day. So it can be a 4-day process if you wanted to.
Yeah, so it happens really fast.
Absolutely.
For people who, I'm thinking of, typical Americans can't take 2 weeks off of work all the time. What are some of the questions that you had, at the very beginning of all this, that you asked that were going through your mind about, is this the right place, and is this the right time? Should I get this done right now for me?
I think the biggest thing is, I don't know if it was a question, but like I said, I did a lot of research and just making sure the quality of the transplant was going to be up to par.
Yeah.
And then another big thing is, being a African-American male, hair texture is different. A lot of clinics don't understand how to transplant Afro textured hair. So in doing research, there are a couple other clinics, but Vera Clinic is very high on being able to transplant and work with Afro textured hair. So that was another thing that played a big part for me, because it's like, if you're not used to doing African-American hair and you've never done it before, how am I going to come here and you're going to give me the proper transplantation? So that was one of the bigger things for me. And then just making sure that I wasn't too far gone, and they would be able to extract enough grafts from my donor area and things like that. And they have you take pictures and send it to them, and they take those pictures and give it to the doctor, and he examines, and they were like, your donor area looks great, we'll be able to do that transplant. And like you said, how fast they were able to move me into getting a scheduled appointment and being here. Because a lot of what I do is through schools and through basketball, and I needed a time frame where I would be able to have that rest. And for a lot of the summer, I'm able to rest.
Yeah.
So if they weren't able to get me in right away and I maybe had to do it like later in the winter, it wouldn't have worked for me because I wouldn't have had enough time to recover.
Yeah.
So it's just like the way they plan and the way they like work around your schedule is amazing.
Yeah. So once you decided, okay, I'm going to do this, they had to decide that you're a proper candidate.
Yep.
So then they give you the green light, and then from there it really is up to you. And you chose, yes, let's go.
Absolutely.
Let's go forward with this. You got your plane ticket. And then, at the procedure time, what were you most nervous about? I mean, I think a lot of people wonder, how painful is this going to be? Like, what is your pain tolerance?
Sure.
Obviously, we talked about this off camera. You have tattoos, so I'm like, oh, you'll be fine. But how painful of a procedure was this?
Yeah, we definitely talked about the tattoos. And, there was another worker that talked about the tattoos, and they were like, people that have tattoos actually said it hurts more.
Oh, interesting.
So then it made me feel like, oh man, I'm getting a little worried about this. Like, because the most painful part, a lot of people say, is getting the anesthesia shots to the donor area. So going into it, that's what I was nervous about. But I think, I don't know about those other people with the tattoos, but I think my experience sitting in a chair for long periods of time and having needles go into my skin, I didn't really have any pain at all with that. So I would say if you're able to handle like a shot or any type of needle like that, you'll be just fine. And there's so many people that get hair transplants. So it's not as bad as you're thinking in your head. You're going to be just fine.
So you said they give you kind of an anesthetic shot at the beginning. So you're awake during the process or the procedure.
You're awake throughout the whole procedure, but your head is like completely numb. Yeah. So as they're extracting the hairs from the donor area and putting them into the transplanted area, you don't really feel anything. Wow. You're kind of just, I was more in, I wouldn't say pain, but I was uncomfortable just like, because I've had like bad like back injuries and things from basketball, and they help adjust me and they allow me to move, but I was more uncomfortable from just having to sit in a space for a long period of time rather than what was actually going on my head. Yeah. So it's really not bad at all.
Because you started laying down on your stomach.
You start laying down on your stomach for about, I would say about 2 hours so that they can get all the hair from the donor area. And then they give you a break, go to the bathroom, whatever you need to do, flip you back around, and that's when they start planting the hairs into the spaces that need those hair follicles.
So all in all, you were kind of in this procedure for what, 6?
I think mine was about 6 hours, but I want to say they say it could be anywhere from 6 to 8, just depending on the person and how many grafts.
Okay. And then you go back to the hotel, and how was it sleeping? Like, what do they tell you about that first day, because you're kind of bandaged up from the back side of your head? Yeah, so they
bandage up the donor area, making sure that it's safe and you don't like bump it or anything like that. That's a big thing with after getting a hair transplant. You want to make sure that you don't irritate those transplanted hairs, but like getting into the car, accidentally bumping your head or whatever it might be. You don't want to like rush and look down really fast or turn really fast with your head. You want to make sure that like you're keeping your head as still as possible. The hardest part for me, I'm a side sleeper. Yeah. I sleep all day long on my side. I'm so comfortable on my side. And they're like, no, you're going to have to sleep on your back. Yeah. You prop yourself up about 30 to 45 degrees. Okay. And then they give you a neck pillow and you kind of just have to like lay there straight. And it was tough for me. Yeah. And it's just is what it is. If you want your hair to like nothing to happen to the hairs that were transplanted and you want healthy grafts and all that stuff.
You came all the way here. Yeah, of course. You're going to do whatever they say.
Hey, you're just going to have to suck it up. Yeah. So I didn't get a ton of sleep. Yeah. It's nobody's fault. Yeah. It's just, I just wasn't used to that. And it doesn't help that, the time change. Of course. Minneapolis is 8 hours different. So I'm 8 hours later, we moved to the future now, come to Turkey. So I'd say I probably went to bed at around 11 and woke up at like 3. Yeah. But back home, what is that? 3 o'clock, quick math.
Yeah. I mean,
7.
Yeah.
So.
You got a little nap.
Right.
But, and then the second day, I mean, you wake up, you have breakfast, and then they pick you up again.
Yes.
And talk about the aftercare part, because I feel like there are a lot of rules that you have to now adhere to. And like you said, you've got to be super mindful of your movements. Like, you can't be in the sun, you can't be in the rain. You've got to like wash your hair a certain way. Like, so again, this is such an important part of the process, because if you mess it up, I mean, I don't really know what would happen, but we don't even want to.
Yeah, no, we don't want to go through that. I'm going to make sure I take the right steps in order for that to not happen. But yes, I did forget about that. That is one of the first things they told me as well. They give you a like a loose like bucket hat that you wear on top of your head after the surgery and after the post-care day. So like going forward, if I'm in the sun for a long period of time, or if it's raining, or if there's any like dust particles or anything, while you're outside, you want to wear that hat to protect the grafts.
Yeah.
But no other hat, just like that, because it's very loose, it's soft, you won't damage the grafts. And then coming in, the first thing we do is they put a like topical lotion on your head, and I think I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I let the doctors do the doctoring, but I think it's just to clean it and like maybe soften the scabs for the wash. So then you put that lotion on your head and you let it sit for a little while. And then they took me to the washing area and actually like used the shampoo and washed my hair for me.
And you said that part felt really good.
Felt amazing. It was incredible to get those bandages off and like have them wash my hair. I said it before, but it felt like I was just sitting in a spa, and it kind of is a spa. It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But then also with the hair washing from here on out, for the first about 10 days, I'm washing my hair. I use that lotion first, let it sit for about 30 minutes, and then you use like either like a soft water pressure, or maybe just like take a cup of water and dump it and just make sure that, you know, you're not aggravating that hair. And then you do the same thing with the shampoo. And then as it dries, you have to use like a medicated gauze and kind of like pat it dry. But then you let your donor area self-dry. Don't touch the donor area. So you still wash the donor area, but you just let it self-dry.
And they went through all of this with you through a translator, I understand,
yes,
right?
Through a translator. He kind of, I would say it's like a mini training. Like they show you a video, show you how to wash your hair, show you how to dry your hair, make sure you understand the process. And the translator did an amazing job of making it clear for me.
Yeah. Are you going back home thinking confidently, like, I got this, I can do this, I can take care of this for the next, 2 weeks or so?
It's about 12 days and 100% confident. I ask a ton of questions, so I make sure, like, even if they told me something and I understand it, I say it again just to be like, is this what you said?
Yeah.
We positive here? After these amount of days, can I do this? And they like tell me that everything's okay. So it seems like the 12-day mark is kind of the checkpoint of like, now you can like, when you wash your hair, you get rid of those scabs. You can start to wear hats again. You can start to like exercise a little bit more. So anybody that's exercise freaks out there, you have to take 2 weeks off. After the 2 weeks, it's light exercise.
Okay.
And then after a month, then you can start getting back into your normal exercising again. So that's probably going to be like a tough thing for me because I love exercising, lifting weights, but I say it all the time. I'm going to keep saying it. I love basketball. So I'm constantly running around playing basketball, whether I'm playing or coaching. I sweat a lot and I move a lot. So it's going to be hard for me to not do that because I have such a passion for it. But it's worth it in the end to make sure that your hair grows the way you want it to grow.
Yeah, I mean, you're making a lot of concessions, or at least considerations is what we're talking about. You're like, well, I mean, you just said it, it's worth it for you.
Right.
Yeah. In addition to what you just described, you went under a red light therapy for about 5 minutes, and then this like hyperbaric chamber oxygen experience. And doctors have said that is all to speed up the healing process. Tell me what that was like. It's interesting because I think Vera Clinic is one of the only clinics that you can get all of this done under one roof. So you didn't have to like go all over the city.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Like everything that you need, you come to Vera Clinic and they have it for you. So they set you up for success. You don't have to go to different places or travel to different areas to get what you need. And the OxyCure and like being in, it's like, it almost looks like a submarine or even like a part of like an airplane. You get into that area and then they have like oxygen mask. And in the beginning, they like pump the area with like a lot of air pressure. So it feels like you're on a plane and you're like going up. And you know, when you go up on an airplane, maybe your ears start to pop or, you know, things like that. So it's giving you that feeling of getting a lot of oxygen into your body. And then 20 minutes, you put the oxygen mask on and you try to take deep breaths in and deep breaths out through your mouth. Make sure it's through your mouth and not through your nose. And then you're 2 minutes off. You get to just kind of hang out and relax normal. And then 2 minutes or 20 minutes back on doing that oxygen mask again. And the best part about being in there, they had a TV in there and they played basketball.
Basketball, of course.
So I was.
Did they do that for you?
I don't know if it was for me, but he was like, "We're gonna watch LeBron James because he spends $1 million on his body," and I was like, "I'll watch anybody play basketball." So yeah, throw that on. I'm good with it.
Now you were in that chamber with other men.
Yes, there were other men that got the procedure done, so we were all kind of just like lined up, sitting together, and you know, breathing in and out together, taking in the oxygen.
Breathing with men from probably all over the world.
Yes.
I mean, what were you, did that thought kind of resonate with you in that moment where like, were you thinking about, man, where are these guys from? Why like, I can't believe we're all here. How is this happening? Does it feel kind of surreal for you to be here and going through all this?
Absolutely. And I just didn't want to like take away from the doctor talking and what he was explaining, but like just looking around at everybody, I would, like you said, I was thinking about like where they're from. And I know like we're all from different places. And I wanted to like ask them like, where you're from? Like, what made you,
story?
Yeah, what's your story? What made you do this? But you have a mask on and you're focusing on your breathing. So you didn't really get that opportunity, but I did end up talking to one guy from Buffalo, New York. And he ended up having it done for his second time. Yeah. So like some people will come back for a second procedure just to add more density to their hair. Yeah. If they had like way less hair going in. And he said even for him, he loved his experience and that's why he came back. So it was super dope to hear. And you know, I don't know. I just think it was a great experience overall.
What do you think when you look at yourself in the mirror right now? I mean, I know it's a shock to you because you said to me, you've never shaved your whole head. Which I don't think looks bad, by the way.
Thank you.
I really don't.
I can work the bald head a little
totally
bit.
Rock totally rock this. But you know, you see the scabbing. You know it's going to look like that for a while. You know, what goes through your head when you look into a mirror now?
I tell myself, trust the process. Because looking at it now, I'm like, did I make a mistake? Like, obviously I know that it's going to grow back, but like you said, I've never been bald. I've had short hair maybe like 2 or 3 times my whole life. I've always had like, either when I was a kid, I had a big old afro or I kept it a little shorter, but it was always like curly, longer hair. Yeah. So seeing myself bald, I was like, maybe it's not that bad. But for me, it's just like, I like having hair. It's like, it's an expression of myself. I like to be able to like style it different ways. And I like having the curly hair look. So I'm like, I'm going to trust this through and through. I know that, and I've seen it through other people, like I said, on TikTok and just like through research, this is how it starts. Everybody looks like this in the beginning. And that's what I told myself. I'm like, everybody starts out bald and they have these grafts and it looks kind of scary, but after the first month, it gets a little bit better. After the second month, it gets a little bit better. It starts to get a little bit worse, but then it gets better again. I don't think a lot of people realize this. And from what I've seen, people will say, oh man, that hair transplant did not work for you. But they're only maybe 2.5 months in. Yeah. And with hair transplants, it grows a little bit, but then they start to fall out again, like the transplanted hair, and then it regrows again. So I just talk myself through it and like, it's a long process. You get your full results 12 months or sometimes even later. So regardless of how it looks in the beginning, I'm just telling myself to trust the process. And I know by the end, it's going to look great.
You're playing the long game.
Yep. That's what it is. I mean, I don't think anybody has ever gotten a hair transplant and it looked amazing after month 1. Right. So it is a long game. And you spent all this time to get here. You've dealt with your hair being a certain way for so long. You can wait another 6 to 12 months to 15 months or whatever it is to get the hair that you want. Yeah. So that's what I tell myself.
And I mean, ultimately, this process is permanent, right? Yes. So even if you, like you were describing this other guy from Buffalo, New York, he comes back because he wants a little more density.
Yeah.
This is permanent.
Yes, the transplanted hairs are absolutely permanent. I've, through research, your regular native hairs could still potentially fall out, but it just like depends on how strong those hairs are. But the hairs that were transplanted, they absolutely won't fall out as long as you're taking care of it the proper way.
If you needed to, would you come back for a second round?
So if I looked at my hair and I still thought like, oh, there's areas that could use more density, and like I know my crown area was really bad and kind of in the middle was pretty bad. So if it's a thing where I'm like, I'm still not happy with it, absolutely I would come back, just because like I said, I had such a pleasant experience here.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't mind taking a trip to somewhere I've never been. This is my first time in Turkey, so I don't mind doing that. And maybe I can even stay longer and kind of like check things out and be a tourist for a little bit too.
Yeah. Now, I know that you plan to document your process for the next year or so.
Yeah.
So we're all going to get an opportunity to see how this goes for you. Tell people where you plan to do that. TikTok, Instagram. How do we find you? What are you thinking that you'll do or show?
Yeah, I think obviously I'm going to start out by showing, I think I'm going to do just like a little video to explain kind of what I told you about my confidence and everything like that, and then lead it into the process of getting to Turkey through like the airplane rides and the transportation and getting to the hotel and things of that nature, and then proceed to talk about the procedure, talk about the post-care so people can see that.
Yeah.
And then just document my journey of how I'm looking each step of the way, month by month.
Yeah.
And then I plan on posting it. I have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. So those are the 3 channels that I'll be posting it on through social media.
Okay. And I can add that to the show notes, your handles.
I don't 100% remember. They're all like very similar, but a little different. So we'll have to figure that out.
We won't make you guess right now. Why do you want to share this process? Because really you could have come in here. You really didn't have to share this with anyone, especially not the world.
Right.
Given what you told me at the beginning about this being such a personal and emotional and mental struggle for you, why choose to do it so publicly?
That's the thing. You say it was a mental, emotional struggle for me. And I know there's so many guys out there experiencing the same thing and like not knowing whether they want to pull the trigger or not. So I want them to kind of see the experience through my eyes, and how like what I post, they can see, well, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it is a great opportunity for me to gain my confidence back too. And overall just be like safe in their decision on like, is this a good thing for me to do? Absolutely is. I know I just started the journey and I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I have faith in just what I've seen here and the precautions they've taken with me and the time and quality they put into my hair. I know it's going to look amazing. And I just want people to come with me through my journey and finally get to the end and be like, wow, his hair looks great. Why not wait? Why wait? I should go do that too. And I hope they see my journey and decide that they want to do it too, so that they can get the confidence that they lost.
There will be people who listen to your story and say, well, this isn't regulated in America, you know, and you're taking a risk to be here and to do a procedure like this outside of your native country. What would you say to those people?
I would say that I understand, and that is very true, but also the quality and care that Vera Clinic put into it, it doesn't matter if it's not regulated in the United States. I care more about how you're treated as a person. And how they treated me as a person was they really wanted to help me. They really are professionals and amazing doctors that know what they're doing. So I would just say that even though it might not be regulated in the US, they do quality work here.
Okay. Devin, is there anything else that you want to share before I let you go?
I would just say anybody that's considering a hair transplant and you maybe have lost some confidence, or you feel like you don't look the same as you used to, and you're not the same person that you're used to being, and you struggle with your emotions and how you feel about yourself now and your image of yourself, just do it. I know it's scary. I know it's traveling to another country, but make sure that you do the research. You find the right clinic, which I think is Vera Clinic, and you make that decision and just go for it. It's going to change your life and you're going to feel a lot better about yourself.
I'm excited to see where this takes you. And could you please invite me to your wedding whenever that happens? Because I just picture you with a full head of hair at the altar again.
Yep, inviting you and everybody from Vera Clinic. We're all going.
Maybe we do the wedding in Turkey. How about that?
We do it here? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Exactly. But thank you so much for not just your time, but for being vulnerable and sharing your story. Because I think you're right. I think when we share with authenticity, it will help people who are in the same position.
Absolutely. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Thanks, Devin. And thank you all for watching The Shift. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm Sonia Azad. We'll see you next time.
This episode is supported by Vera Clinic, the official partner of the Houston Rockets. With groundbreaking Oxycure technology and a team of experienced doctors, Vera Clinic continues to set new standards in hair transplant and aesthetic medicine. Trusted by 40,000 worldwide, Vera Clinic is where transformation and confidence begin. Learn more at veraclinic.net.